Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. The general resurgence meta in Warzone right now has got a lot of really strong options, whether you're looking for a sniper and aggressive sniper support combo or a rifle SMG combo, whatever the case may be. And so with that said, today I want to break down the absolute 5 best resurgence meta loadouts you want to be using. Obviously, if you're like me, you're probably returning from the Black Ops 6 beta, trying to get back into the swing of things with all the MW3 movement and Warzone movement and everything right now, and these loadouts will have you covered. So first things first, perks and equipment, same as always here. Smokes and knives are my go-to. Smokes, instantaneous concealment, the answer to everything. Reviving, pushing, rotating, whatever the case is there. Knives, obviously, for the insta finishes, get those quick pings on your radar. For perks, again, same as always here as well. Mountaineer, double time, quick fix, and flex. Usually looking either for a tempered vest or a medic vest in game, or if I can get it, specialist is the most ideal case scenario, right? But anyways, this first loadout, since we can just focus on weapons for the remainder of the video, considering perks and equipment's the same on every single loadout, is my go-to sniper setup. And this is the Kar98K paired with a more aggressive BP50 base sniper support option. This is the rifle version of the BP50, just so it has some better range. And I mean, for resurgence in general, whether you're playing Rebirth or Fortune's Keep or Vondel or whatever, this is going to be super sufficient. Bit more range than something like an MCW would have range, better velocity, right? So love this little combo here. My car setup has not changed in some time, and as they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. This is the best one-shot capable sniper setup for the car. So we got the sonic suppressor, extends out the range and the velocity. The 7.62 long barrel extends out the range and the velocity. High grain ammo extends out the range and the velocity. So 75.6 meters, the best capable one-shot range for the Kar98K. 925 velo is basically the best velo you can get while having that best one-shot range as well. I go for no stock on here for a faster ADS, a better strafe speed, better base general movement. Just speeds up the weapon a lot more, makes it a lot more aggressive. And then use whatever optic you're comfortable with. For me, it's the Antlers AS7. For somebody else, it might be the range collar. For somebody else, it might be a 2.5 times. You never know. If there's an optic you like and you're comfortable and you hit your shots with it, go for that, always. Then as mentioned, this BP50 pairs so nicely with this. This is the rifle version as mentioned, so rifle ammo, rifle velocity, and I just kind of keep a nice balance between extending the range, extending the mobility, and bouncing back and forth between those. So sonic suppressor, I find this weapon to be incredibly easy to use. This is going to do a slight dent to the control, not a huge deal. You're getting some better range and some better velocity out of this, so you're basically going to be in a hit scan range with this as a sniper support in all the fights you're realistically taking, right? DR6 hand stop I also really like here over something like paracord or even jack slash, because it gives me that better ADS and that better sprint to fire. You could definitely deal with speeding up both of those on a sniper support style setup, and it still keeps the weapon easy to use. High grain ammo is one that I think you can mess around with. I like the benefits for range and velocity here. That said, if you wanted to go for even like the Lore 9 heavy barrel, that'd be viable too to help out with the control, or you could go all in on mobility and try out the short barrel and see how that works for you, although that'll hurt the control a little bit more than I'd like to in some situations. I like the feel of high grain personally. 45 round extended mag, and then I go for the Mode 40 stock. This helps out with control and mobility, so best of both worlds here with what we're trying to focus on for a lot of the attachments. Really like the feel of this thing, and it pairs so well with a good sniper. Next up here, probably one of my favorite loadouts to run in terms of the fun factor right now, the Bal 27 primary. This thing's been buffed in terms of damage. It was buffed a while back for control, so it's super easy to use, and I pair this with the fastest Superi build possible, where you sprint around and you feel like you are Barry Allen, you are the Flash with this thing in your hands. So this Bal 27 setup really optimized for mid to long range. I love the iron sights on here, so I do opt for those. If you really had to use an optic here, I'd probably recommend either switching out like paracord underbarrel or the H3 barrel. Those I think are the two most switchable, but I feel like this setup, everything does its job nicely, right? So quartermaster suppressor, great control, self-explanatory there. The Crown H3 barrel is giving you better range and better velocity and a little bit of better movement somehow. The strafe and the general movement speed see some increases here. It's a weird barrel to do all of that in one, but it's pretty convenient that it does. Paracord on a barrel also helping out with movement and that horizontal control, which is why I say both of these are still pretty vital for what they do. High grain ammo I also feel like is very important. Way better range, way better velo, up over 1,000, stacking this on our barrel, of course. And then the 60 round mag you definitely want, because that fire rate increase means you're going to burn through ammo, so the DPM gets worse as you are holding down the trigger, obviously, since the fire rate speeds up some after those first couple of bullets. You're going to want that 60 on there for sure. And then for the Superi here, like I said, max mobility. So the short barrel is going to help out with our base movement speed, our sprint speed, and our tac sprint speed, which is an 8.3. If I go ahead and I go through and hide the face cam there, That's insane for movement. And if you use this in game, you'll see how fast you feel and how fast you are. So that's clutch for that. Jack Slash also helps out with attack sprint speed, your base movement speed and your sprint speed. High grain ammo just to extend that range and that velocity. Some 40 round extended mag, then Rescue 9 stock. Better sprint speed, better attack sprint speed. This thing is so fun to run and gun with because you are just so fast. And by the way, as we are breaking down all the setups, all the weapons here today, if you are new to the channel, every single day, I got you covered with news, updates, patch notes, meta breakdowns. Everything going on in COD is right here. So feel free to hit that subscribe button, join us on the road to 1 million subs. And if you enjoyed this video, you find the information helpful, a like rating really is always appreciated as it does help the channel grow and help promote the video out to some new viewers. So much love to everyone who spends the time to drop a like and support the channel a little bit more. Next up here, another very fun loadout, the BP50 returns, this time in its SMG form via the conversion kit, and I pair this with the STG, which we all know is still a laser beam, still frying. It's not as broken as it was before the update with Season 5 Reloaded, but it's still very good. It's close range, it's mid range, it's long range. It's all still holding on just fine. Like, it is still one of the best options in the entire game. Pretty standard setup here still too. Use whatever optic you are the most comfortable with. Yet again, I love the NIDAR on this thing. Very little visual shake, easy to see out of. Love the feel of that. 50 round extended mag, very basic. Then I go for the paracord under barrel for obviously better control, but some better mobility too. So it's still a little bit aggressive. Quartermaster suppressor, straight up better control, so this thing's a laser beam. Then the C70 long barrel, better range, better velocity. So we're up over an 1100 velo, fantastic for hit scan range. We've got a 47 meter effective damage range. That's fantastic too. So yeah, the STG is not going anywhere. And then for the BP50 conversion kit, unfortunately, when you do throw on the Revenger kit and you get that super fast close range TTK, it takes away like all your most ideal attachments. So we are left with the grip tape, the rear grip tape Trust 4 for just straight up some better control. It's nice. It hurts your idle sway a little bit, but that's not a huge deal in the close range. High grain ammo on here extends out that damage range, some very important for an SMG, obviously. Laser sight for the faster ADS and sprint to fire. Then I go for the sonic suppressor just to extend out that range and that velo a little bit more. You could also try something like a ZEM35. You could use a quartermaster if you're okay with the ADS slowdown. Like, there's some viable choices here for sure. But yeah, if you got your sights up, this thing is able to compete one-on-one with pretty much every close range option in the game, which obviously makes for a lot of fun considering this is a rifle at its core turned SMG. Hey everyone, real quick, want to give a huge shout out to my friends over at Gamer Advantage. You guys know by now, if you're active viewers here on the channel, that I am always rocking my Horizon frames. These are by far my favorite frame style and fit, but they got a little bit of something for everyone. Multiple different frame styles and different colorways for all those frame styles. They offer prescription and regular lenses, so no matter what your situation is, if you're looking at screens for long periods of time, whether it is school, work, whatever the case may be, Gamer Advantage is a must-have. Reduce your eye strain, sleep better at night. They're doing so much for you. They truly are game changers, and that's why I'm wearing mine every single day. If you ever want to get a pair for yourself, throw in code WHosImmortal at checkout, and you'll get a nice little discount. The link for that will be down in the description below. Following that, we've got the TAC Evolvere, which is actually crazy good in its first damage range. So if you just focus on extending out that range some, it is one of the best possible resurgence guns in the game. And then we pair this with a static, another phenomenal SMG. Not much change here. Still has great range for a sub, decent movement, and it's easy to use as well. What I also really love about this Evolvere though is, while we are focused on some range extension and making it easy to use, the strafe on this thing for an LMG is kind of crazy. Like, you're actually really agile when you are ADS'd. Again, I got the NIDAR model 2023 on here as my preferred optic. I actually dropped down to the 50 round 7.62 belt just so I can get a faster reload and it speeds me up a little bit. You are gonna have to reload a lot with this thing regardless. You might as well have it be a little bit quicker on there. Then obviously when it comes to the general movement upgrades here, just helps out more with that strafe situation I was talking about. The Superi vertical grip actually also helps out a lot with strafe, but also your control too, so that's kind of the best of both worlds. The righteous long barrel gives us that 44 meter effective damage range, helps out with the velo, helps out with some control, and a little bit of movement too, which is kind of interesting. And then I go for the quartermaster suppressor. Like the feel of this, again, keeping the gun very easy to use, so you'll be laser accurate and you also move pretty quickly for an LMG. It's pretty surprising, honestly. Then the static setup here, not really a ton of change. Still rocking that deadly duo of quartermaster suppressor and the paracord grip. I still like the long barrel on here, especially since they have nerfed the general gun some. Getting that range and that velocity benefit, even for this being our close range option, extending this out means you can have this out in your hands a lot and not have to worry about running into someone in the mid range for an SMG, right? So it's kind of a nice safety net. That said, using something like the light barrel, also very viable. This thing is fast and agile and it works well too. NIDAR model 2023 here yet again. Then I go for the light stock, which is just some better movement all across the board. Faster ADS, better strafe, better general sprint speed, just keeps things super aggressive. So static is still a top choice as well. And then lastly here, we just got a super well-balanced setup. The MTZ 5.56 rifle, reliable, easy to use, quick TTK with the WASP 9. Reliable, easy to use, quick TTK, right? So this is a setup that really anyone can pick up and you'll do just fine with it right out of the gate. So MTZ setup here, I find this to be relatively easy to use, so I actually don't go for an under barrel. I go for Quartermaster Suppressor, the Clinch Pro barrel, which is just range and velocity, but it gives us up over 1,000 velo and a 56 meter effective damage range when we pair that with the high grain ammo on here. And quite frankly, the recoil cons here I don't think are all that big, considering Quartermaster pretty much negates that, and it's a relatively low recoil weapon to begin with. 50 round extended mag, and then again, whatever optic you want. In this case, I got the Jack Glassless. It's a solid alternative to the NIDAR. I could bounce back and forth with either of these and be pretty content with what I've got going on there. Then for the WASP 9, really like this as an SMG as well, just because it is so reliable. It's got a great effective damage range for its first range, so you can get out to some nice ranges and still have a quick TTK. I hate the irons though, that's the only drawback for me here, so I go for a NIDAR, Glassless would work, Slate, whatever you're comfortable with as always. 50 round extended mag. I go for high grain here. It's a little bit more efficient in extending out that range and that velocity than a barrel would be in this case. I do stick with DR6 over something like Slash or Paracord just because the ADS is not that fast on this thing, which sucks as an SMG. So this will help speed it up a little bit, plus some sprint to fire, plus some strafe and some general movement speed. And then of course, Quartermaster Suppressor just to keep things easy and controllable there. So yeah, between any of these loadouts here today, you really can't go wrong. It's a matter of preference, it's a matter of feel, it's a matter of comfortability. You use any of these, you're gonna be good to go and fry in on some Resurgence gameplay. And that's gonna wrap things up. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button on your way out so you can always guarantee you are up to date with everything going on in COD. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.